Alright, here we go. The Koch Media Primetime event. Let's see what's going to go on here, folks. Do we see the new Payday? Do we see any of the other number of games they showed yesterday at Summer Game Fest? Who knows? We're about to find out, though. We're about to find out.
Hello there, guys. My name is Opal Cadman, and welcome.
What up?
Today, I have three main tasks. The first one
completely has made some games I liked, yeah.
Brand new
Koch, that's how you say it. Koch.
Number two is to take a deep dive.
They also did Saints Row and Dead Island, but they said don't expect those here.
New label we'll be getting up to.
She needs a better mic. True. I've got a better mic than her, but it's all right. Hey, that's me. Hey.
Some of you guys are guys who I have looked up to and watched for many years.
Thank you. I try to
speaking of people who I've looked up
be
to
above, you know.
I
try to be good.
Jeff Keighley, who will be helping me co-host us through this entire list of games.
Jeff Keighley's here, dude.
Thanks, Opal. It is so
Jeff, a busy man.
To be here with you for the first ever live stream from Prime Matter. I was honored yesterday to reveal the label to the world at the Summer Game Fest kickoff event. And wow, you've got a lot of games there in that sizzle, over a dozen games. So I know today you're going to go a little bit more in depth.
Jeff Keighley, a popular man, you know what I mean? He's out here shaking hands, kissing babies.
I missed it yesterday. I just want to see it again. Let's kick things off with a look at that announcement sizzle reel for Prime Matter.
I want to see Payday, dude. Show me more of the new Payday.
Sometimes I ask myself what it all means. Let's begin.
They do look like they have a good assortment of games coming out, whatever they are. Got some medieval game. Got Payday right there. Beast building game, maybe? I don't know. This is a pretty cool sizzle reel, though. The music is good.
Is that who you are?
My purpose makes me who I am.
Oh. Your purpose.
I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile.
Being relied on to succeed where others would fail.
The Last Oroku, Outward. Scars Above, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Dolmen. Crossfire Legion. Iron Harvest 1920+. Mountain Blade 2. King's Bounty 2. Codename Final Form. Encased. Echoes of the End.
Prime Matter.
And then Prime Matter.
Yes, guys, you just saw 12 games and counting. And that's just the start for Prime Matter. But before we get into these incredible games,
so Prime Matter is the name of
the juicy bits.
They're like devs, I guess. I don't know.
You about what Prime Matter is.
You tell me. Let me know.
Prime Matter is the
Let your boy know.
Premium.
And that's the event. Yeah, that's it, dude.
Koch. It dedicates itself.
Koch. I gotta keep Koch.
Immersive and diverse games.
I'll never remember that.
Amazing development talent all around the globe. It highlights the varied influence.
Her headphones are so fucking big, dude. Like they're like a solid like 8 inches off her ear. Big ol' Koch, dude. Big ol' Koch.
Players with larger than life storytelling create incredible moments, and above all, they're fun. The team behind Prime Matter is a melting pot of incredible talent, led by seasoned industry veterans and complemented by a young, fresh, dynamic team of multicultural gaming.
I can see you reading off your laptop.
The team behind are
Got him.
gamers at heart.
Not that it matters. Coming up, Painkiller. Good song by Judas Priest.
By gamers for gamers.
Yeah. Okay.
And that being said, for all you keen-eyed individuals out there, you would have seen that one game was actually missing in our 12-game lineup for Prime Matter during the video.
Payday.
That is a game that comes from the Embracer family itself. Jeff got to sit down with Todd Hollinshead and talk all about Painkiller.
I thought she said Tom Holland for a second.
All right,
I was
you
like,
saw
what?
the news yesterday. Yes,
Keep
there's
calm
a
and
new
respawn.
Painkiller coming, and Todd is joining me now to...
Wait, is Painkiller a
give us few more
franchise? I don't know what
details.
Painkiller is.
This is kind of a fresh project for the team at Saber, and you guys, first of all, I love that you and
Saber
Tim Wilkes
Interactive
are
made
there,
World War Z.
continuing to build out Saber. And Painkiller,
That's where I know them
franchise,
from.
You and I are both OG. We remember, it was it probably 15 years ago at this point?
Yeah, it's been a while, you know, closer to 2 decades than 1.
My God. All right. Well, but it's one of those classic games. Let me ask you, from a Prime Matter perspective, you know, you've been in the industry like me all those years, and we remember that game.
I haven't
was
been.
This a
I have
franchise
not been.
that you guys wanted to sort of...
I don't know what this
bring
is.
back?
I kind of want to look it up.
Well,
Painkiller game franchise. Let me
Painkiller,
look it up.
when I played it back in the early 2000s, this is a game that had, you know, it was dark.
Came out in
a little
2004?
twisted, intense, cool guns.
Huh.
These are the things that, you know, kind of hit the
Let's
nail
see what
on
the wiki
head of what
says.
appeals to me in a
First-person
video game,
shooter.
both as, you know, as a fan and then also...
No, it was published
as a
by
publisher
People Can
at
Fly.
Saber.
That's the same
So,
people that made
you know,
Bulletstorm.
we're hoping to capture those same sort of elements and bring those...
Single-player campaign follows a dead man in
Yeah,
purgatory
you
who
know,
is offered
you
to
guys are
deal...
certainly
Who's offered a
masters
deal
of
to
doing,
defeat the invading
shooters
forces of
from,
Lucifer's
all the time
army
at id,
in exchange for being allowed to
Painkiller
enter
does have a
heaven.
lot of
That
the
sounds
DNA
cool.
of sort of
That sounds rad.
fast-paced action with a little bit of a...
That actually
twist
sounds
to
really
it.
cool.
And, you know, the fact you guys are working with Prime Matter is also exciting. You know, brand new publisher.
Inspired by
brand
games
new
like Quake,
label.
Doom, Serious Sam.
What do you think of the fact that they're doing this label and you know, it's such a
I'm
diverse
down.
lineup of
This sounds
companies and
neat.
partners around it.
This sounds like
I know you guys work
it'll
with a
be
lot of
cool.
publishers, but it's pretty
Hopefully.
exciting to see a new label announced. That doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't. And, you know, I think that within the Embracer Group, you know, it's just a business that is growing. We've got great leadership at the top. And so Koch Media is, you know, wanting to expand.
He
their
says
publishing,
Koch
and I think
Media.
that, you know, the name they chose, Prime Matter.
Koch?
sort of is,
Koch?
You know, it's sort of like the
Koch?
primordial
Which
soup
one?
of putting together.
Last people to
stuff
touch it was
from nothing.
THQ Nordic in
You know,
2012.
it kind of
Huh.
makes me think of this is what we do when we make video games. You know, you start with Pixel Zero, and then
Interesting.
at the end of the day, you make a game. So I feel like that, you know, that kind of resonates with hopefully the...
Was that
type
Hell and
of
Damnation or
experiences that we're gonna be
Resurrection?
Providing, you know, not just within Prime
So yeah, the
Matter,
last one
working
was on
with
like
them,
360
between Saber
PS3.
and our partnership, but,
Sounds
you know,
like it's
across
cool.
across the
We'll
Embracer
see
Group
once
as well.
if we ever see anything
it
from
sounds
it.
like they have a lot of games in development.
Sounds like
The
it's
fact that you
still
are
super
bringing
early, but
back Painkiller is really exciting. And I know, you know, fans, of course, want to know a little bit about, you know, what's the game going to look, how's it going to play. Probably can't share a lot of details about it, but you're kind of in the early stages of development now on this.
Yeah, super early, and you know, if anything that I would share,
Recurring
I'd probably
evil?
get,
Got it.
assassinated for back home once it got back to the developer, because you know all these, you know, the first stuff that comes out almost always gets sort of iterated on and changed, and so we're trying to keep the lid on the details until we have something that's going to be really awesome to show.
All right. Well, we will be waiting for it, and we know.
So
with
we know
you
it
involved,
exists.
it's
That's
gonna
what we
be
know.
Something very special
Coming up, the
fast-paced
chant.
Action, I have no doubt.
The
So,
chant.
New Painkiller
Absolutely.
coming soon from the team
We're
at
chanting.
Saber, published by.
Looks like
Primetime.
Doom mixes
Thanks, Jeff.
Skyrim. That sounds pretty sick
Thanks,
to
Jeff.
me. That sounds really cool to me.
I really can't wait to hear more about Painkiller and. The
Also,
fact
Jacob,
that
thank you for hanging out with
Todd
me this
and Tim
weekend
and
with
the team at
E3, dude.
Saber are working on
Happy
it.
you're as excited about it as
it's
all as I
gonna be
am.
Pretty special when they are ready to share more. So, you know, exciting stuff in that sizzle reel, Painkiller, Payday.
I'm
but I know
excited to
there's
hear
a
what
lot
Painkiller's
more
all
we're gonna
about
talk about
later
today
on
as
down the
well,
line.
right, Opal?
Actually, Prime Matter has 12
I love E3
games
too,
under
dude.
development
So good.
right at this minute.
This
We're
second?
so excited to show you guys what us and the developers have been up to. However, before you see some of the content...
Wife's
we're
not
showing
happy?
today, I
You
do
know,
have to
it's
make
just a
clear
weekend.
that some of this is pre-alpha, alpha, high-level concept, and some of it is about to release right around the corner.
Oh,
so
yeah?
please keep that in mind when you're viewing today's show.
Well, you let me know, Opal.
That being said, how do you guys feel about a psychedelic third-person survival
Oh, is this the guitar
horror
one? No.
set on what it means
that
to
sounds
go on a
really
journey
cool.
about self-enlightenment and what happens when it all goes wrong?
What was that, like, 2D
I got to
psychedelic
speak with
guitar
the
game? Do you
developers
remember
of
that?
Chance, working
Forgot what
on
was
this
that called.
title, about their game and who they are.
Release Dead Island 2, you fucks. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, Pulse. That ain't gonna happen. They already announced on Twitter before this event happened that don't expect Dead Island or Saints Row here.
More than they bargained for, and your character has to deal with.
How you doing, Pulse? What's up, dog?
As well as the cosmic terrors that become awakened.
Cool. So, what type of genre is this game?
I mean, it's a bit hard to pin down with the
card game with Jack Black. Was it Jack Black? No. You're thinking of Brutal Legend. It wasn't Brutal Legend, though, dude. I would kill for a Brutal Legend 2.
What was the
kill for one.
That genre?
That was a fantastic video game.
Or is it just it came left field? What's your decision
let me look it up.
behind that?
Personally, we always
that's not the one I was talking
wanted
about.
to make a horror game. A big part of our core team have a background in third-person sandbox games, and we really wanted to combine.
It's called The Artful Escape.
Deep storytelling, and we felt that the horror genre was a really exciting.
It's called The Artful Escape.
To take
that game looks really cool. Did it come out yet?
So, kind of sticking with the horror genre.
It's supposed to come out this year, they're saying.
Decide to go with that theme. It's not
see if it does.
Like normally what you would see.
See if it does. Look up The Artful Escape.
So what was the
because it's cool as shit.
We thought it was just kind of an interesting territory to explore. There is, there's a lot of influence. From that with like folk horror of the 70s and giallo horror and so forth that really inspired us more from a film standpoint. And
Brutal Legend was great.
Aesthetic, something that was very
love me some Brutal
very
Legend.
colorful, and mixing it in with kind of more action-oriented and exploratory.
I mean, Pulse, they claim they're still making it. You know what I mean? They claim they're still
So
they claim they're still working on it.
Your inspirations and stuff. What video game,
whether true or not,
real life
who knows?
Has inspired you
but they claim they are.
Well, going way back when.
Hopefully they do someday.
Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time.
Artful Escape is very artful, dude. I told you, man. It looks cool as shit.
So a lot of games.
I'm excited for it. It looks so cool.
Started off as a game.
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. We're doing this one. Then we got IGN Expo after this, and then E3 really kicks off this weekend with Ubisoft.
On bringing more of an action.
Let me go look in my Discord.
We've since switched to an over-the-shoulder camera and haven't looked back.
Tomorrow we got Ubisoft, Devolver Digital, Gearbox, Upload VR. And Sunday, the big day, Xbox, Square Enix, Back for Blood, PC Gaming Show, Future Gaming Showcase. Sunday's the big day. I can't wait. Can't wait for Sunday.
But from your original concept to where the game is now, how much has that differed?
But I've enjoyed what we've seen so far today.
And I'd say the aesthetic.
Is Ubisoft always the big starter? A lot of the times, yeah.
Those all remain intact.
A lot of the times. EA is typically the one to do it, but EA is not doing one until July for some reason.
We added more.
They're waiting until July, like July 28th or something.
Action to the game. Our game actually has a fair amount of combat in it, especially on the melee side.
But we'll see what Ubisoft talks about. Do we get a new Splinter Cell finally? Do we finally get a new Splinter Cell? Does it happen? Who knows? It's possible.
We were a very small team at first. We're still a relatively small team, but every new person that joins, brings something new to the mix. So I'd say on that end, the game has evolved in scope and.
I hope we get some gameplay soon for some stuff.
Kind of sticking on that point of you got a small
I hope we get some gameplay because I'm down for the talking and I think it's cool for them to talk about it, but
so far.
The hardest part was probably
you definitely should
has,
you definitely should be showing some shit.
Production values, because that's where our
so you're gonna be streaming all day tomorrow, pretty much, man.
On a small
pretty much
budget. So for us, we had to be very strict.
There's a Wholesome Gaming Direct Showcase that starts at 1, Ubisoft's at 3, Devolver's at 4:30, Gearbox is at 5, Upload VR's at 6. So
proprietary technology
from like 1 o'clock on, probably, maybe with some small breaks in between.
Can get up and running on the engine quite quickly. In addition to that, we've been using photogrammetry from the start. for both.
Shall see the game devs like making dope trailers, but the actual game looks like poop. Dead Island 2 looks like poop. It'll flop. True.
You know, also tapping into a lot of
You're not wrong.
going on in our city.
You're not wrong.
It's a pretty big film industry, so
I mean, again, I'd rather them take their time and make the game look good, but the game was announced like... Wasn't Dead Island 2 literally announced like 5 years ago at this point? Like, that game is in fucking...
So you've mentioned like
that game's getting fucked right now. Let me look it up.
Also, kind of how rich Vancouver is. How much does that come in handy when you're working on the game?
Oh, it's been extremely beneficial.
2014.
Vancouver, you know, is home.
That trailer came out in 2014.
A large portion of us.
No, they're not talking about Painkiller. They're talking about the next game. I forgot what it's called.
We also have people who have worked.
They said it's like some psychological horror thing.
As well as some
he said Coalition?
Independent studios as well. And in addition to that, you know, having the film industry here where we can utilize,
did he say the Coalition?
You know,
I missed
talent. We're working with union actors. We're scanning.
Because I need to work with Xbox exclusive peeps.
And we're actually currently auditioning.
Yeah, Dead Island 2's looking
fucked
right now.
for the game, and as well as
hopefully it comes out eventually, though.
Doing the finishing touches on our new.
Did you ever play the Dead Space games? I sure did. I loved them. Big fan. I would die for a Dead Space trilogy remaster like they did Mass Effect. I would die. Give it to me.
Place to be right now.
Awesome. Sounds great. In terms of exciting things, when it comes to this game, what are you most proud of at the minute where you are?
I think the thing I'm the most proud of is just what a small focused team can do when they're all, you know, sharing the same goal. And
what about a Dead Space reboot? I'd be equally as down for that. I mean, that's pretty much what the Callisto Protocol is. It's not a reboot specifically of Dead Space, but
deliver an amazing.
It looks like that's pretty much what it's going to be, just not Dead Space, but pretty much Dead Space.
Yeah, it's really.
But man, I'd die for a Dead Space reboot. I would love that.
And you know,
and bring back the multiplayer. The multiplayer in Dead Space is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I think it was Dead Space 2 and 3 that had it.
Different to probably what some of you used to coming from those massive studios. So finally, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch, and also, you know, being featured on their brand new label?
It's truly an exciting place to be. We've been kind of pushing our game as far as we could, and
yeah, Pulse and Mass Effect fucking crushed it too. Like Mass Effect was a big success, so I think there's a much better chance now than ever before. There's a much better chance now than ever before of that happening.
We've already
of a Dead Space trilogy like remaster thing coming out.
We're often in our own little echo chamber, and you know, even in a short period of time, we've been able to act on a lot of the feedback, and the game has improved considerably since then.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome to talk to you and find out a little bit more about what you guys are going to be offering for the new label.
Yeah, hopefully that happens, man. I would be super excited
on the content. So thank you.
I'd be super pumped.
From psychedelic horrors to internet rumors, our next developer created the huge open world of Bohemia and took us on an adventure through the Holy Roman Empire. However, there have been some leaks that this action RPG may have a home on the Switch. Opal sat down with Warhorse Studios to try and get to the bottom of this.
Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Switch.
Man, they got a
that is quite some news.
Yes, that's true. Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And as you said,
there you go.
Gamers, devs, and games.
People really like Kingdom Come Deliverance. I never played it, but I remember a lot of people were big fans of it.
Well, some kind of confusion happened in the end of last year. We Warhorse Studios were preparing the release of the Kingdom Come.
Yo, I fucking agree. I just went on Twitter. Greg Miller just tweets, quote, "Tell don't show this Koch Media event." Dude, legit.
It's going to be released on Switch as well.
These guys are not showing a goddamn thing.
Existing like that, we were not even thinking about the possibility that Kingdom Come Deliverance could go on the Switch. However, Nintendo...
We are like 25 minutes into this and they haven't showed a goddamn thing.
And then the snowball started rolling. All of a sudden it was the talk of the day. Kingdom Come Deliverance is releasing on the Switch. But as I said, nothing like that was planned at all. And we didn't even think about that. Now, a few months back, and we think it's it was still somehow cursing around in the Nintendo database. Nintendo of
Hopefully the
Spain
IGN
posted a
Expo is
picture
better.
on Twitter, where they had different pictures of open world games, and they were promoting already existing open world games on the Nintendo Store. And if you clicked on the picture, actually you couldn't, there was nothing like Kingdom Come Deliverance, of course not, because as I said, nothing like that is existing. However, again, it created confusion. People were talking about it again, like, okay, so is it coming, is it not coming? But for us, actually, and as I said, we didn't think about that until that time. For us, we started to think. There's a lot of interest, there's a lot of buzz. People are actually talking about us, reaching out to us, like they seem to want Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Nintendo Switch. So we started to think. And since we are already in the Koch Media family, or the Embracer family, and there's a lot of talented studios, so is Saber Interactive. And who but them would be actually capable of bringing the Kingdom Come Deliverance version on the Switch? So we sat together, and now we are here talking about the Nintendo Switch version on Kingdom Come.
So what you're saying is that a community of gamers made this happen?
More or less, yes. The community feedback we got, of course, was a big drive for this entire project.
Work on content versus making every game playable on the Switch. So yeah, honestly.
Think of the Kickstarter project we had in the day. So without the community,
I mean, I like the Switch, but my Switch is my friggin' exclusive machine, dude. To be fair, so is my PS5. So
and even coming up with crazy
everything is my exclusive machine. That's not my PC.
For instance, the Savior Schnapps, our own liquor we created later, was actually a community idea. We have our own beer brand. We recently released a blue brick set, like a building set for Kingdom Come Deliverance buildings. And now one of the latest projects is the Kingdom Come Deliverance soap bar.
Wow,
the real medieval smell.
Holy shit.
In that case,
biggest reveal of E3, dude.
Medieval smells actually pretty well.
Wow.
And, we are coming up with stuff like
you
that,
too
all the time. Our next new
can smell like a medieval person
project is a
by using their soap. Kingdom Come Deliverance soap. Wow. Wowee.
Minigame, the dice minigame, you can play in the
oh
game.
my goodness.
Studios,
crazy.
With a boxed version you can get and play Far Cry
unbelievable
against your friends or against your family or whatever. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. But generally, if you're interested in these kind of stuff, just check the Warhorse Studios social media accounts. You get all the information there.
Ooh, my favorite. Soapy hot news. Speaking of soapy hot news,
what the
how
fuck?
do you feel about Warhorse being under the new label Primetime?
I feel like this is a bore fest, Opal. I'm sorry.
We were working together with Koch for over 4 years.
Like, listen, I understand you guys can't show everything. I get it. You know, I get it.
That was a big thing.
But come on now.
You
haven't shown anything.
Take part at the beginning of something new.
You showed the same trailer we saw yesterday.
Being created. That is a big thing for us. And especially if you consider that we come there as an...
I'm sitting back and relaxing now, folks.
Already. That is really cool, and we are
sitting back and relaxing now.
A bright future.
Thank you very much, Toby. We cannot see what Warhorse has got cooking. However, until that time, Toby, goodbye.
So are we. Thank you very much, and see you.
Later, Toby.
From internet rumors back to reality, we will have more on Kingdom Come Deliverance for Switch as we get it.
All right, let's move from RPGs to FPS games. Final Form, which is a working title, is an action-packed sci-fi adventure where you play the role of a humanoid avatar of a sentient spaceship sent on a mission to the edge of the known universe to battle an unstoppable plague. The game is still a long ways from completion, but here's a very quick peek at what's in store.
Are we actually seeing something? Wow. It's finally happening. Reconnect. Oh, that looks neat. That looked kind of cool. Codename Final Form. Said the body you're given is expandable. I don't know if you saw that. So what is it, like Cyberpunk?
Hi, we are Raycon Games, and what you have just seen is the first glimpse of our upcoming game codenamed Final Form.
Final Form is an action-packed, epic sci-fi FPS in which you are a female-formed humanoid machine on a space mission with no return.
Gameplay.
At the heart of the game is a mystery and alien worlds to explore.
What's up, Mitchell? This is literally, we've been streaming now for about 30 minutes and we just saw our first, this is the first gameplay we've seen for 30 minutes. The rest of the show has just been people shooting this shit. It's like, alright, cool, I guess. We finally saw gameplay, Jacob. We did it, baby. We finally got something. 10 years later. 3 games later, we're finally getting an ounce of gameplay, dude. Anything, even a trailer I'd be fine with.
Entirely by game developers. Since the success of Ruiner, we've grown quite substantially.
IGN Expo should be better, I hope. Here's hope.
Game creators. And counting. We are not a huge team, but what we love to do is to evolve together with our projects, constantly finding smarter and better ways.
I mean, to be fair, I guess they didn't need to show Kingdom Come Deliverance gameplay since that game's already out. But like,
aiming for the best results.
Even if they just played it for fucking B-roll.
We strongly believe that the well-being of team members needs to be taken
like
care of
this
first, before we can pour all of that.
Give me trailer, then talk about it. That's all I ask. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Or talk over trailer, like they're doing now.
It's very fruitful and inspiring. We're happy to be in the avant-garde of the upcoming new label.
This presentation feels like Koch Media or Koch Media or Koch Media or however you pronounce it, media, is just like, hey, we want all you guys to come here and tell us why you think we're the best publisher. And that's what we want you to do. It seems like they're trying to stroke their ego a little too much here, but sure.
I love the soundtrack from Final Form. Moving on to our next game, which is just as special. What if you took Lovecraftian and Gagaris themes and mixed it all together with hardcore RPG elements? That's exactly what Massive Works Studios are doing. I got to sit down with their CTO to talk about their game, Dolmen.
Dolmen. Wow, wait, world premiere. Lovecraft Shift is dope. I don't know really what Lovecraft is. I don't really know what Lovecraft is, but I've heard the term. Like, I don't know how you would define that. I know it's based off like a book or something, right? I like the style of this. Noodly Eldritch Cosmic Horror shit. Oh, Cthulhu. Got it. H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, that's right. He was an author, right? Got it. I like this music. Yeah, I heard about that, Mitch. Yeah, that is unfortunate. This reminds me of Returnal, man. That looks a lot like Returnal.
Let's speak now to Gabriel Ferreira, CTO of Massive Works Studios, who joins us now from Campinas near São Paulo in the southeast of Brazil.
He comes from Campinas?
Gabriel, what is Dolmen about?
First of all, it's a pleasure to be here and to participate.
Bro, this man's got a single poster and it's of the game on his wall. And he's still using an Xbox One OG edition for some reason.
Where the hero needs to save everyone from an alien threat. Fighting with all kinds of monsters and struggling to keep going forward. Yeah, that's the kind of game that Dolmen is not about. In this game, you actually save the drillers, which is the alien species that live on that planet, but you're going there to help a company save its investment. So you're not really the nice guy that's trying to save everyone. It's just a job. But we hope that the players consider the humanity.
Yeah, his echo's like more distracting. His echo's distracting enough that I can't like focus on what he's actually saying.
And yes, Domain is also about fighting all kinds of monsters and struggling. After all, it is a hard game. It's a hardcore game.
Okay.
It's
hard game.
Inspired on Souls-like, so yes, you're
going
to die.
You lost me, dude.
Awesome.
You lost me.
Thank you. So when
Souls-like, you lost me, dude.
Obviously,
I ain't good enough.
Went for that for like a very specific.
I'm not good enough for that shit.
What's the thinking behind the name?
I'm too bad at games.
So there was many things that came to our mind when describing the name of the game. Domain, which means a single chamber.
Have I ever tried getting good?
Tomb.
Yeah, occasionally.
Tomb. We thought it would be a good word.
Souls games, I don't feel like eating my shoe today.
This crystal that we have that is related.
I feel like actually completing the game.
In many ways, everyone that deals with this crystal in the game is close to bringing problems to everyone that is around.
I'm not against trying some more. It's just I want a more modern one.
Cool.
Which is a reason why I wanted to try Demon Souls, but also don't want to try it for $70.
Dolmen before, so it is already out there in the world. But how long has it taken to get to this?
Not every game needs to be Souls-like.
It's been
I wouldn't say every game
since the beginning of the project.
I do think there's a big, not resurgence, but there's a uprising of Souls-like games now, because people like them.
Just a bit more to come out. But we and about our journey, if it
like the last one was what, Sekiro?
Well,
no, Demon Souls, and then
our
before that, Sekiro probably.
And you
guys, from big publishers anyway, big games. I mean,
here right now.
Lovely. How have you been?
There's a new Souls game coming. Yeah, Elden Ring, dude. I'm good.
Obviously inspires it.
I mean, again, maybe like
games that inspire you.
Maybe if one of my friends on Steam got it and I like Steam friend shared it, maybe. But there's no chance I buy it.
Games came to us when we were producing the game and when we were first thinking of it.
No. I think really Pulse was talking about Elden Ring, Mitch. Really feels like every dark fantasy horror game coming out lately is Souls. Yeah, I can see that.
Dark Souls.
Although Sekiro too, I do want to try Sekiro some more. I've gotten through like the first like part of it like 3 times. I just haven't gotten further. Sekiro definitely feels the best for me out of all the ones that I've played.
Not only inspirations in other games, but also inspirations in movies and Lovecraftian stories.
I feel like just the menus in those games are kind of shit, which turns me off, which is weird. Turns me off a lot from the actual game.
It's really hard to say because
Halo Infinite hat, baby, Sunday.
That ranges from likings.
And they're gonna say, and the beta comes out now. You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. Calling it. There's a demo out for Dolmen, really? On Steam?
Love doing what they do, which is a hardcore game.
I'm investigating.
Yeah, and that makes sense as well when you get hands on Dolmen. All these inspirations that have come in.
I don't even know how you spell it.
The game is set in a sci-fi universe. Is there any specific reason you decided to go down that route? Was there any other route?
It's apparently supposed to come out this year.
Yeah. Well,
I'll add it to my wish list to just see.
What they don't know.
Bro, they've shown more in like pictures here than they have in the friggin'.
There is always.
Bro, like why aren't they showing this?
We can explore. You
see this?
So that sci-fi setting.
Like, why are we not seeing gameplay, bro? Clearly, you have the pictures and shit for it. Like, hello?
That our insane minds could come with. So
maybe.
We wanted to use the sci-fi.
I just feel like show the shit first, get people excited about it, and then talk about it. You know what I mean?
Enjoy it.
Don't talk about something we don't really know what it is yet.
And,
you could show it, and then we know what it is.
On the point of humans and Earth, you guys are based in Brazil, which is awesome.
I feel like
any specific challenges
I don't know.
You faced during development because of
this
or just in
this
general?
Specific conference, if you want to call it that, is just
that we faced, along this
like you're just talking and talking and talking, and there's only so much we're gonna want to listen to. It's something we don't know what it is yet. Show don't tell is definitely a real thing in these things.
Was a really challenge for us, but it was something that we
should have been a podcast, dude. Honestly,
because even that we're based in Brazil.
I mean, honestly, like jokes aside, this probably should have been just like a
spread across
like
the country.
a big blog.
It was,
you know what I mean?
Easy enough to
like Koch Media, Conch Media should have just come out and been like, yeah, dude, here's a multi-page blog of the 12 new games or whatever the fuck they're coming out with.
Finding people that are really capable of helping us to deliver.
Like that would have made a lot more sense, and I think more people would have.
And that's something that our company
paid more attention.
Appreciates the most and really gives value is the people that we work with. They were really incredible people, and they were really rare over here.
Absolutely, that's really cool. Kind of on that theme of development and challenges, given how development and technology often dictates how a game evolves.
Also, I don't know when this Koch Media, Conch Media event ends, but IGN Expo starts in 25 minutes, so if it goes over that, then we're cutting this one and hopping over to the IGN Expo. But we shall see. Just letting you all know for you YouTube folks, if it just ends, you know why.
It started as a concept from,
you know why.
A few friends that get together and they brainstormed it for months, the game. So it diverged in two senses. And one of them, when we first started the game,
agreed, Jacob.
It's huge and is insane and has a lot of background on it.
I mean, you just like telling people about your game. While I think there's a place for it, I don't think the place is making people watch 5 minutes of you two just like having an interview, you know? Like I said, I think this is something you want to do and put it on like
the game and from its original concept evolved a lot, especially
you want to put this shit in a blog post or something for people to go read if they're interested, you know?
It advanced way better than we imagined. Back 2016, we didn't have all the resources that we have now. So, of course, we made some sacrifices here and there and in order to achieve our goal. But we're never happy with satisfied that point of satisfaction.
Like doing these events, you don't want people to be looking at their phone or looking elsewhere. And boy, every second I'm over here on my other monitor looking at Twitter and seeing what people are thinking about this, because
we want to make a brilliant game
because it looks like people are agreeing with me.
The development of the game, seeing as you are lead programmer as well, what was the hardest part of making the actual game?
I believe that,
like I could be playing Ratchet right now, you know what I mean?
We could have gone into different options, especially, for example, we could have wanted to make it a game that was simpler or smaller or not have that many hours of gameplay. But we decided to go to.
I like the new Ratchet so far, man. I'm really enjoying it.
A first game of our company.
I've been having a good time with it.
Full into that
a lot better than
we faced
2016.
Challenges,
it feels a lot better. I like the enemy variety.
I believe the hardest part of the game was finding the correct professionals.
Imagine me giving a fuck about the hardest part of making the game when the hardest part of this interview is me not changing the channel. See that comment up there, folks? I agree.
5 years on
I agree.
A single game is something that is challenging for everyone.
You just started playing with Rivet. I'm a little bit further.
So
I'm a little bit
further. It was
a
difficult decision, but
also Knockout City this weekend. Their first double XP. I might have to hop in.
Yeah. Regarding programming and as a programmer, there's a lot of that I could keep talking and talking about. What
you are. You already are.
Always challenging, but finding that balancing fit, so the game that is not unfair, but is hard. So we wanted to aim hardcore players. So this was really something that was hard.
Next. Oh my god, let us out, dude.
Which is a
let me out.
Long time.
IGN Expo, save us, dude. Please. Please save us.
Themselves motivated.
I won't say that it was easy, because it wasn't. but I would say that most of all, we were always having these meetings in order to play the game.
You're disappointed she doesn't play any different at Ratchet at all? I don't know what they would have done, really.
Every day.
But yeah, I can see why you'd be a little upset about that.
Showcasing what we are doing and working alongside each one of us. Also, a lot of things that happened before COVID was the events. The events always made
Dude,
us
I'm not even
super
lying right now.
happy.
Like,
So
I almost want to
showcasing
bring
the
this up
game
on the
to
corner for you
everyone
guys to see.
and getting the players to play the game and see how they react, it was something incredible for us. It really made us feel proud of what we were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everyone's missing that event feeling, right? When you actually get to see people on the games and you're like, oh wow, everyone's loving our games. I think it's something that everyone is missing, definitely.
Like,
Speaking of
look at this right here.
And
These guys are at least
times,
actually showing
what are you
shit.
most proud of this game? What have you guys worked on that you're like,
You know what I mean?
yeah, we did that.
IGN right now is at least showing stuff.
The universe that we created is amazing.
I don't know what it is, but
from it.
World War Z, getting the Game of the Year edition.
Made, some comics for it that we prepared.
It's like I'd rather watch that.
A lot of story, some crazy cinematics. So we're really proud of.
I mean, Netflix even showed more than this.
This game that we made and achieving what
I actually really would like to get people to play World War Z with me. I've always wanted to play through the entire game with people, but I don't think I've ever actually been able to convince people to play that game with me.
Expand that universe and getting to.
But I really like it. It's super fun.
To our original concept and what we meant.
It might be on Game Pass too. I don't remember if it is or not.
It's something that makes us really happy.
Cool. Awesome. Speaking of partnership with us, what are the benefits of signing
the fuck
up with
is
a
this
global
game they're
publisher
showing?
Like Koch on
See, there it is again. Why do you... Why do we need to know? Why do we need to know? People that are watching this goddamn thing, why do we need to know every single time? What makes Koch Media the best place for you to be working at? Like, money? Money helps. I mean, that's a big contributing factor to why we went with Koch Media. There you go. I answered the question for literally everybody that's coming to you guys. I mean, like, we don't need to know this. There's wasting time, bro. Forgotten City. I remember seeing trailers for that. It looks cool. I'm legit about to put this IGN Expo thing on, even though it's like a pre-show. 2 Point Hospital.
And
also, tell me if you think I should get rid of it, but I think for now, I mean, this fucking thing up here is more interesting.
Yeah, and to meet you as well. We really thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, you're welcome, bud.
We are so happy to have you guys.
Opal, you gotta get the show moving, dog.
More importantly, I am so excited to actually let people play this game at some point under this new label. So thank you so much for your time, Gabriel.
Anytime soon.
It's been awesome talking to you. And yeah, let's release Dolmen at some point under the new label. Thank you for your time.
Coming up, King's Bounty 2, it says. It's covered by my thing.
Now, the first title from Prime Matter will be the beautiful, highly anticipated King's Bounty 2. We have a first look at the gameplay trailer.
Oh,
and then
we're finally fucking getting... All right, here we go.
With CEO
finally getting something, folks. King's Bounty 2.
The balance is off. Our land, Nostria, dances on the knife's edge of fate.
Cool.
King Claudius, my father, cannot lead, and his absence has set the realm in motion. Something is coming.
King Claudius is looking like he's dead.
The crown falls onto me. Nostria was flourishing.
This game also looks like a Xbox 360 game.
It used to be beautiful here. My wife and I had a nice life then.
Conspiracy,
spooky,
sabotage, necromancy. They all threaten this land.
What kind of game is this?
But we must unite, for distorted terrors are advancing.
This makes me think like the way it looks makes me think it's going to be another like top-down game.
Putting our hope in something that does not exist.
Showed 3 minutes a game, 30 minutes why Koch is the best company? True. True.
Is among us.
This man just goes to his phone and plays Among Us.
You laid faith in my father. Do so to me. We must look towards.
Yep, there it is, top down. I told you. I could tell by the way the graphics are.
And preserve the light of our land. For Nostria.
August 24th. Well, we at least got something here. Jesus, something. I mean, we learned something, I guess.
Thanks for joining me, and I am joined by Nikolai Barinshnikov.
Yeah, I also still don't know what the game actually is.
Who is CEO and creator of
It looks like we got a fraction of a second of... But don't worry, Mitch, you'll learn, because we're going to hear them talk about it for 76 minutes.
So special.
The original King's Bounty was a grandfather of games like...
This man just turned his ultra blur on to like 110.
Turn-based gameplay when we have a hex-based battlefield and the troops are moving in turns, like chess pieces.
True, Mitch, you're right. Probably that's probably true.
That's the key, the cornerstone of King's Bounty.
Absolutely, and kind of speaking about that, and I know as you mentioned, the first King's Bounties was 1990.
Yeah, I'm
and
putting this back on for us.
The King's Bounty that you guys created in
Sponge Stick.
2000s. What technical improvements, now that we're in 2021, are you most excited about implementing into the new King's Bounty 2?
Well, I'm a huge...
I don't even know what the fuck King's Bounty 1 is. Does anyone know what King's Bounty is?
Battles. And if in the previous games the battlefield was always a flat surface, so now we're bringing the battlefield into 3D. So
Ground City looks amazing, yeah.
Sides, hills.
Are you excited for Scorn, Vinny? I am. I'm very excited. It looks like it's going to be neat. Didn't we actually see gameplay recently? I feel like I remember seeing gameplay recently, but don't fully remember.
Huge step forward.
We also might just see more of that come Sunday, because that's going to be on Game Pass day and date, I believe.
Games like Fable or Mass Effect, epic, big role-playing games.
Fable and Mass Effect. Man, I would love to see Fable this weekend, but I don't think we're going to, which is sad. The stalls are now opening for business.
Fantasy adventure.
What a great game.
This is not like a small indie title anymore. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest production we've done in Moscow so far.
So speaking of the other King's Bounty games, will this King's Bounty 2 follow the other stories of the games, or will it be a standalone title?
The fact that it says...
It will not follow on any previous games. But even the previous King's Bounty, they all sort of
maybe like Dragon Age shit. Maybe it'd be nice if they just told us like what it is. What the hell is this game they're showing on IGN right now?
The previous King's Bounty, it was not like an epic RPG adventure. So the game was more about just battling
looks kind of neat. I don't know what it is.
And solving some little quests. And then King's Bounty 2.
Yeah, Paul, Scorn looked pretty cool. Oh, this is Forgotten City? Oh, okay.
Like dozens of hours solving puzzles.
I didn't know this was Forgotten City.
Making decisions that change the character and the world. So we're really moving much more towards an epic RPG. However, this is a rare combination where our game King's Bounty is not an action RPG. It's not a Witcher.
Action RPG.
Quickly press buttons on the joysticks and battle enemies.
We finally got there, folks. We finally got there.
A high fantasy role-playing game with a tactical strategy title, which I wouldn't. It's not like quote unquote was never done on console, but this is fairly unique.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
And
like when I feel like you overhype yourself when you're like from the company of talking about coach blocking. Yeah, I feel like you like set yourself up for failure when you're like, yeah, from the game publishers from Saints Row and Dead Island, and then in a tweet or like, hey, but like also we're not going to show those here, but like you should still come anyway. So you get yourself hyped up because you're like, oh, it's that publisher that did those. Okay, that's cool. Maybe they got some cool stuff to show, and then they show like 30-second trailers and then talk for 17 minutes, literally.
Aesthetic compared to its predecessors. What was the design?
Like we've seen what, 2 trailers now? 2 trailers in 45 minutes?
On the design approach.
That's not me.
And again, as I said, we spent.
Are they doing this live? I don't know why I'm here. They're getting Windows notifications on their stream.
This game had this more cartoonish, kind of fancy indie look, but we decided we are now trying to.
Yeah, this Forgotten City thing looks pretty sick, though.
Much bigger title, big game, an epic adventure.
Looks like a Greek mythology kind of
modern fantasy titles, both in
Skyrim-ish kind of deal.
In games, and we thought that this is a good idea actually to upgrade King's Bounty to what we call like high fantasy or like realistic fantasy. So it's not a dark fantasy like Kingdom Come when they're like dirty peasants, everything is bad. No, it's more like, as I said, like high fantasy. Epic characters. If there's a dragon, it looks like a dragon, not like a toy. If there's a villain,
If it's a dragon, it looks like a dragon. Thank you, bro. Did you just see that? Yo, are you seeing this in the friggin' Sunken City thing? That's cool. You just turned this water into like a fucking grass and ground. That was neat.
With slightly enhanced graphics in 2021. So you need, especially for consoles, there's a specific expectation.
Fantasy version of Pompeii. It looks really cool.
Or buy the game digitally or online. Okay, this is like a.
All right, they need a better vaulting animation, but
it has to look graphically and gameplay wise like this. There's an expectation, and we believe that that's what we have to do.
Yeah, so we've mentioned that this game combines different kind of like ways that you can play the game, basically. from third-person RPG.
Koch Media, you're fucking up, dudes.
To this unique fighting system, this kind of chess-like
I'm just being honest.
Fighting system. Kind of, why did you choose, with the evolution of game design and how people play games, why did you choose to stick to these hybrid game mechanics?
Also, a little callback from earlier. The Witcher Twitter just tweeted out, I lost it. Netflix just, nope. Yeah, the Witcher Twitter said, quote, "No new Witcher game will be announced at WitcherCon. Say Netflix and CDPR, but we will be getting, quote, breaking news about the Witcher show and something about the Witcher anime film." So there you go, you Witcher fans. There you go.
Gameplay, make it more fun or realistic, but obviously this is the core. So this is a tactical game with a lot of.
With the evolution of game design, why did you decide to instead talk at length about shit nobody cares about? True, dude. True. Also, the new Jedi Fallen Order upgrade came out today.
Probably not for them.
If you're playing on Series X or PS5, you can play 4K 30 frames or 1440 60 frames.
Kind of this new 3D.
Or if you're on a Series S, 1080 60 frames. Or if you're on PC, whatever the fuck you want, you know what I mean? Hey, look at more World War Z.
Feel more alive and more exciting.
Mitch, could I convince you to play World War Z? You think I could do that?
Longest time, what kind of caused you the most headaches?
Especially if it was on Game Pass? It was at one point.
This multiple platform game, so there are specific technical.
It's literally Left 4 Dead. It's a Left 4 Dead game.
Prolong the development. You can make just, let's say, PC.
But it's fun as shit, and the hordes are actually really cool.
You are not having a headache of porting to different platforms. Getting different.
It's really, really cool.
Specifications, TCRs,
like zombies can literally form walls of themselves just by piling and piling on top. It's cool. Yeah, then hell yeah, we should do it. You should check on Game Pass. I'd do it, but the stream, this very important Koch Media, fuck it.
To a 3D high fantasy and the production of assets, so we. Wants to build like a huge map. We want to populate this map with a lot of characters that will just move around.
Let me see if it's still on Game Pass.
Somewhere, have their own like stories. Then we decided.
Also, anybody else here that wants to play.
Instead of having like text
it also has crossplay, so if you're on Xbox or PlayStation and have World War Z, let me know too, because I would love to play.
What's going on? So we even had to buy our motion capture studio. We we'll work with like dozens of actors, and there are hours and hours and hours of in-game based cutscenes, which in the past could be just dialogues and pieces of text. That was another
They're still talking, by the way.
No, absolutely. And then the final
still
question,
talking.
What are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch and being on their brand new game?
World War Z is on Game Pass.
That provides us a lot of additional support because not sure
World War Z is on Game Pass, so you should get that shit installed.
So making
You're low-key tired of all these popular video games making movie or TV show adaptations. Star Wars, it works, but others don't.
Is only,
I feel making all these movies and TV shows, it takes away possible stuff from future content. Are you talking about, you're talking about games going to other media, right? She asked the question again? Good, great. Because we really need to know. But yeah, get that shit installed, Mitch, because I'm fucking down. This game is fun as shit. World War Z is fun as hell. Should try to get a squad for that. Stupid. But yeah, I can see what you're saying, Pulse. I do think that some work better than others. Like, obviously, The Witcher did really, really well. And I actually am pretty excited for... They're doing a Halo Showtime show, which has been in development for fucking ever. But it looks like it's finally getting off the ground. There's actually been leaks of pictures from it, and it looks good. So whether or not the story will be good, here's hoping. But I think if done well, it can be good. But like something like the Sonic movie, I think is fine. You know, talking about Last of Us and Borderlands. Okay, I'm not against the Last of Us one. Only because it seems like they're not doing anything new. They're kind of adapting the game into a show. The Borderlands one I don't know enough about. Dude, look at World War Z, man. I gotta play this game, man. I gotta play World War Z. It looks fun.
Nightmarish creatures.
We got 4 minutes to the IGN Expo. What a real shame would it be if we had to cancel this Koch Media event. Koch.
Guys, sit back.
Borderlands cast seems wacky. It does, yeah. I will say Kevin Hart being in it tells me a little bit. Yo, remember this game, Mitch? What's this game called? This was the like Halo game that... Oh, we're getting fucking gameplay. The Portal Halo game? I forgot what's that called. We're finally getting gameplay on something. I wasn't paying attention. Here, let me hide this for now.
Telemetry check.
Yeah, the character looks super stiff. Granted, it's still pre-alpha, so I'm not judging, but... Ooh. Got an upside-down pyramid?
How is this possible? What planet is this? How did I end up here?
Nice synth. Nice synth wave music.
Log entry. The gate has an internal conduction system. The 3 points on the rim seem sensitive. A targeted blast of electricity should cause a reaction.
This game looks a little rough, I'm gonna be honest.
The debris. It's from Hermes. It must have splintered off as it entered the atmosphere.
Yeah, that machete sure did just disappear. It sure did.
Mira, it's still intact.
Like, again, I know it's like pre-alpha or alpha or whatever the hell, but... Alright. She kicked those vines' ass, it's true. Well, we are now going to switch over to the IGN Expo because it starts in 2 minutes. So thank you, YouTube, for watching this Koch Media event. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I sure didn't. So if you watched to the end, I appreciate you. Jacob, Mitch, and Pulse, you guys are the real ones. You guys are the real ones. So thank you guys for hanging out for this one. Keeping me sane. And we're now going to transition to the IGN Expo, because this shit was bad. It was bad. Anyways, thank you, YouTube. Check out the rest of E3, baby. Xbox Bethesda Sunday. Let's see. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.